Hey, movie fan, Jerry the Gen X movie guy here, and it is time now to take a look at the box office results for this past weekend, November 22nd through the 24th, and what a bounce back weekend it was. But before I get into the figures, if you dig movies, literature, and all things pop culture, then I invite you to subscribe to my channel as well as like and share this video. It's only one click for you, but it means the world to me, and I thank you so much for the support. All right, so pretty much to no one's surprise, the movie Wicked proved to be quite popular at the box office. In fact, even defied expectations, shall we say. And I promise that will be the last Wicked reference I use as I talk about the amazing box office results of this supposedly amazing movie. Haven't had a chance to see it. I'm really looking forward to it. My husband and I do have plans on seeing it here within the next week, so really looking forward to that. But I'm falling a little bit behind here on my movie watching, but I'm going to pick that up here in the next month and catch up. But this weekend, Wicked did 114 million, took in 114 million domestically, globally bringing in over 200 million. Absolutely amazing. And it was a very high risk, high reward movie, remember. Part 2 is to be released next year. Had this movie, Wicked Part 1, underperformed, who knows what that would have meant. But I don't think they have a thing to worry about. This movie will probably have legs throughout the rest of the holiday season, at least, even into the early months of next year. I think very well could be an awards contender, an Oscar contender, with technical nominations especially, but even perhaps a Best Picture nomination coming its way. The critics have loved it. The audience has loved it. We're going to see this very well. It is a long movie. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes long, over 2.5 hours. So we'll see what the repeat business is on Wicked, but it very well could end up having that kind of Greatest Showman effect where it plays for months. Number 2, a sequel that I don't think anybody really expected up until the last couple of years was actually going to become a reality, and that is Gladiator II, the sequel to I believe it came out in 2001, Gladiator with Russell Crowe, which was an amazing movie. Actually won Best Picture. Russell won Best Actor. So Gladiator 2 brought in 55.5 million, 55.5 million this past weekend, which was actually pretty decent. It was projected right around the 60 million mark, so it did come in right around the projected amount and did really decent business. Now, in number 3, in third place, that is where we're going to find last week's number 1, the Dwayne Johnson action Christmas comedy Red One, which is also an Amazon Pictures movie. They spent about $250 million on the production budget alone for this movie. Last weekend only opened up to about $35 million. Not a huge weekend. This weekend took about a 60% drop, only bringing in about $13.3 million. Domestically right now, it's sitting at about 60 million, I believe. And then globally is only hitting about 80 to 90 million. So he hasn't even broken the 100 million gross mark. Perhaps Red One is making money in some other way. Maybe there is actually streaming dollars that can be earned through this. I don't know how they track that. So for my purposes, I'm always going to view these figures through the typical lens that we have always viewed the box office successes and failures through. And if you do that, Red One is definitely pretty much a financial fiasco for Amazon. Now, in fourth place, a surprising debut movie. It's a movie called Bonhoeffer, Pastor, Spy, Assassin, and it is a biopic of sorts, I guess, about the man who hunted down Adolf Hitler in Germany. Don't know a whole lot about this movie. I've heard some things that this movie has been accused even from Bonhoeffer's family, I guess, have accused the studio of putting a very Christian nationalist tilt on this movie. So I don't know what that means as far as the audience. This movie was not even on my radar to be in the top five. But when you have, lower grosses near the bottom of your top five, it does open up space for that surprise debut to come in. And this week, that is Bonhoeffer Passer Spy Assassin, which brought in 5.1 million. Now, in fifth place, rounding out our top five, is a very familiar title, Venom: The Last Dance. Probably its last week in the top five, bringing in about 4 million. This movie will be fortunate to break even, but there is a chance that it will at least make a little bit of money, even if that is down the road. One other notable outside of the top five to make is A Real Pain, which is the movie that Jesse Eisenberg directed, which Kieran Culkin has been getting some really amazing reviews for his performance, as has the movie in general. It's been out for a couple of weeks. It is not setting the box office world on fire. So it would not surprise me if A Real Pain, which landed with a real thud at the box office, is actually one of those Oscar bait movies that kind of gets snubbed when award season gets here, especially by the Academy Award. In another month, people may not even remember that it's ever been here. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, compared to last year, this past weekend was, like I said at the beginning, a bounce back weekend. A year ago, the same weekend in 2023, the top five only brought in 94 million, which was led by The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which didn't really set the box office world on fire when that was released, with the top five this year bringing in 192 million, almost cracking that 200 million mark. Now, next weekend, I think, is going to be even better, and where the top five very well may break that 200 million mark, because Moana 2 is going to be released. And we'll have a 5-day weekend to rake in all that money. So I'll be back in a couple of days with my projections for this coming up weekend at the box office. All right, so that's going to be it for now with my breakdown of what happened this past weekend at the box office. And if you are new here and if you have made it to this point, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. I really do appreciate the support. If you'd like to go even further in supporting me, I'd love to have you become one of my Jer Force members on Patreon. There are 4 different tiers for you to choose from, and right now, regardless of the tier that you choose, you will receive a 7-day free trial membership, so you can test out all the rewards absolutely risk-free. So that will be it for now. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until next time, that's a wrap.